Hi everyone, LazyFire here. Welcome back to Battlefield 4 multiplayer. Today we are playing on Goldman Railway and we are playing Obliteration. Obliteration is a new game mode. We haven't seen it yet in these videos. We've also not seen me drive the LAV or sit in a tank gunner seat yet, so we're going to see a couple things we haven't seen yet. Don't worry too much, they're not vitally important. What is important is I explain what Obliteration is. Obliteration, if anything, is kind of a mix between Rush and Conquest. Rush being a game mode developed for Battlefield Bad Company 1, and kind of being a fan favorite since it was released. It features two teams, an attacking team and a defending team, and the defending team is trying to hold the attacking team from planting bombs on two MCOM stations. And they have to wear out the attacking team's tickets, or the attacking team has to plant all the objectives within the time limit. So it's kind of a mix between Conquest and Rush in the sense that there are bombs and there are points that either team has to get. Now the difference here is that the attacking team and the defending team are well, there's no attacking and no defending team. There you can see at the bottom left there, I have 3 objectives on my team, the 3 blue squares, and the enemy team has 3 objectives, the 3 orange triangles, or sorry, diamonds. I don't know why my shape identification is really bad lately. So because of that, what happens here is that instead of everybody on the attacking team having a bomb, everyone has to go after one single bomb that is out in the center of the map, or someone grabs and moves somewhere else. So it's a neutral bomb mode. Once you have the bomb, you try to get it over to your enemy's points and plant the objective, and hopefully the bomb explodes. My team's already done this once already. I joined this game in progress. So we have 3 objectives. The enemy team only has 2, and you can see it's grayed out on the mini-map there, the A objective, which is actually up in the village where this guy is going with that bomb. Now the bomb carrier can get into a vehicle or pilot a vehicle if he really wants to. He can also go on foot or really do anything. It's not like some game modes, like a capture the flag game mode, that the bomb carrier, the flag carrier is stuck with just, you know, one, like he can only use the flag to fight back or something like in Halo. No, he has all of his abilities, but he is permanently marked on the minimap and on your screen as an objective point. So you can see him, he's a little off in the village, but if I look towards him right there, you can see exactly where he is. And there's the neutral bomb right there. It means he's dead. Now we've picked up the bomb, so it's blue. You've pretty much understood Obliteration now. The finer points, though, are this. Obliteration is generally played with 32 total players, instead of the 64 that are in any Rush game mode. In addition to that, the vehicles and everything, they're just about the same number of vehicles as there are in your average Conquest game. Maybe a few more LAVs rather than tanks, and maybe one less jet. But for the most part, it's still as vehicle heavy as the main game mode that features a lot of vehicles. So you're going to be on foot contending with a lot of stuff. So being in a vehicle or driving a vehicle as the bomb carrier is generally the fastest way to making sure you get to the point. It also means that a lot of the maps with helicopters feature guys just like coming after you with helicopters, or sorry, guys going after the objectives in helicopters. It's really effective, and if you can handle it, that's really the best way to go. So you'll get a lot of anti-air, you'll get a lot of people who are just getting shot down with the bomb. If the bomb, say, goes off the map somehow, or it gets caught in the collapse of a building, the bomb will actually center back to the middle of the map as if someone had planted and exploded an objective. You cannot actually sit with a bomb too long, as that little note over your head will always guide someone to you. However, you can totally screw over your team and everyone else by bringing the bomb back into your spawn area. Yes, you can totally do that. I would suggest not doing that, as you'll probably piss off a pretty good population of the server by sitting in a spot that's completely invincible, that no one can touch you in, and just allowing people to get kills the entire time. It's a very popular tactic, obviously, as a lot of people play Obliteration just to get huge numbers. And right there, I'm an idiot, and I walked into a collapsing building. My mistake. Now, one of the fun features of Obliteration, I think, anyways, is the fact that the firefights are absolutely intense. You're going to be constantly under assault by somebody, or you're going to be assaulting somebody, or you're going to be in these street fights. It's just absolutely amazing sometimes. Other times, you actually run into a lot of people who don't really want to play the game as you'd expect them to, so people are going to be hanging out in buildings and in hills and such. Just go ahead and kill those guys. No one's going to stop you. They're just playing the game their way while you're trying to play the game. If you play the game towards the objective, you'll have a lot of fun, believe me. It's some of the more intense stuff I've experienced in this game has been from Obliteration. Just even some of the stuff in this video was really, really intense. You'll see it later on, of course. In getting some of those last-second bomb kills or storming an objective with your team and planting a bomb, really fun stuff. I really suggest anyone who's played Battlefield 4 but hasn't touched Obliteration yet, give it a shot. The issue right now with it is that with the smaller teams total, well, you can actually have a 64-player server, but sometimes, most of the times, you're going to end up playing these games to a standstill. No one's going to be able to get more than, 1 or 2 objectives total. So you'll often end up with either a complete steamrolling. I don't know how I missed that second shot. That should have hit him dead on. You'll end up with either a complete steamrolling by one team, where they just plant everything in 10 seconds and they're done with it, or you'll end up with a complete tie. Because right now, the game mode, like I've said before, is set at 20 minutes total. You cannot go beyond that. I don't know why that was a decision they made, but it's one of those things that a lot of people have complained about ever since the game mode changed over to that. As when it first came out, I think the game mode was actually allowed you to set whatever timer you'd like. But that meant a lot of people were doing that thing I described earlier, where they sat in their spawn in an area where they were pretty protected and just let everyone else get kills or tried to snipe from a building or something like that. So it's an interesting measure to take against the players when they don't play it right. But I can't really blame DICE. There's not really a great way to fix this. You'll notice I've made a lot of use of paradrops here, and I touched on it briefly, but each team has a paradrop point instead of being able to spawn on objectives or anything like that. So you're really going to rely a lot on your squad to put you towards the bomb in a lot of situations. And right now I'm trying to clear out this building. I think I hear a spawn beacon in here. Anyways, you're going to rely a lot on your team to put the bomb near you or get near the bomb so you can actually get moving or get support. Right there, I don't know what happened. I think I hit the windowsill or something. That tank should have been dead by my hand earlier, but I just go up here and repair torch it. Who cares? Yep, that is totally a way you can kill a tank. I wish I'd kind of showed it off the engineer video, but I had not pulled that off yet at that time. Anyways, so the paradrop is actually pretty fun. It's a pretty interesting way to do things. It also gives you a kind of strategic area to avoid on any map. You don't really want to be near that paradrop for the enemy team when you're carrying the bomb. There's going to be people dropping in right on you because they can see exactly where you are on that minimap. So they'll just say, well, I'll just drop on that guy and drop a rocket on him. Not a bad idea in the end. And I just got... That's not a bug. there is a third guy in that thing who pistoled me down instead of the guy with the machine gun shooting me there. That's pretty embarrassing. Let's take an LAV out of spawn once again. Now, the importance of vehicles cannot be overstated, and I've already mentioned it, but if you put a guy with a bomb in a tank, that tank's going to be targeted till tomorrow. But if he's got a competent team around him, he can usually take that tank all the way to a point. Same thing with the helicopter. That helicopter is probably going to get every stinger locked onto it within 30 seconds of that guy taking off with it, but it can be really vital to actually getting anywhere with it. What is that green light over there? Oh, someone's got an active protection system over there. Interesting. Oh, right here you're seeing the tow missile on the LAV can actually lock on to things, similar to the SRAW and the Javelin. I should have mentioned that earlier. Yeah, that's somebody's active... I didn't even notice that when I played. Someone has an active protection thing right there. That looks like a friendly one, though. Interesting. I don't know why he put that there. It's kind of weird. That's the support gadget. I'll explain that in a little bit more detail in the support video, or have, depending on where I place this. But you can see here, without my explosives on this LAV, I have to hit these guys dead on. But the LAV, being a infantry fighting vehicle, is still pretty badass. It can do some pretty good damage. I actually had a lot more kills in this thing until I started getting better with the tank. So I know it pretty well, but in Obliteration, it's a absolute godsend a lot of the time. You can just drop people with this thing, and if you're smart about how you approach a tank, you can take out a tank with this pretty easily. And because of that, it's actually probably more important to have a good person in LAV than it is to have a good tank or pilot in this mode. Unfortunately, I'm not good enough to really do this right. And I get caught by a tank there, right next to the bomb carrier. And that guy popped active protection, so now I got him. One of the big things about active protection, and I have active protection, oh boy, I'm getting nailed. I have active protection on this LAV, but if you know somebody has it, and you know they've popped it, don't fire. Don't do it. The second you see that first non-hit, just stop shooting and let it pass, because it'll keep going until you stop shooting. So don't waste your ammo, is what I'm saying here. An interesting point about Goldman Railway are these little crates here that I was trying to get near. You can actually activate those and explode some barrels later on in other places on the map. I was trying to show that off, but for the life of me I could not get a single one of them to work. I know they work in Obliteration, I just couldn't get it to happen. I think they'd all been activated at that point. Now you have infinite tickets, which is kind of why people use this mode to stat pad a little bit. They can just get in here and you know, hang out with the bomb or use the bomb actually to lure people in. Setting up a bomb ambush is difficult but doable, and a smart team will be able to do that and take off a tank or an LAV off the map pretty quickly. So look for really smart players to start doing that. Now the enemy teams are really close to one of our objectives, and you can see not having anyone in the squad near that thing is really hurting us here. I had to paradrop in, and this is as close as I could get to that thing easily. I can keep running, but it's not going to do me much good. And I think the issue here is he actually took this thing, the Jeep driver here, took the guy with the bomb from one of our objectives, no, sorry, one of their objectives to our objective. You can see him just go off into the distance here. So I had 2 shots at that Jeep, total. And one of my guys here is an immobile AA gun, and he just didn't really have the power to take out a Jeep with that thing. It's not meant for it. So we're actually, I'm going to start running towards that objective, but honestly, we're kind of screwed. There's no way we're stopping that thing. This guy with the DMR, listen to that. He's just not having a good time trying to hit me. And here I'm trying to activate this thing. I really wish one of these was working for this video so I could just show that off. I can't tell where that DMR guy is, so I just keep sprinting. Generally, the best way to avoid someone with a DMR is to keep moving. They can't usually hit moving targets. But he did get me a couple times there, so I do have to take refuge here for a moment. But the points right now is planted. You can see it because it's flashing in the minimap and on my screen. And at a point I just go, I'm not getting there in time. My team's as close as they're going to get. Worth noting about the objectives in this game mode is that if you are too close to them when they explode, they will kill you, friend or foe. So when, like, a lot of people will end up running as far away as possible from the objective as soon as it's planted, and other people will kind of brave it, hoping for the best. I'm one of those people who tries to get as close as they can the entire time, seeing if I can defuse it if it's been planted on my stuff, or defending it at the risk of my own life. Mostly because I really don't care about KDR in this game. It's not really what it's about as far as I'm concerned. But you also saw a commander asset drop in front of me there. It's a supply crate, and that allows me to fill my ammo back up very easily, or to change classes without dying. Very useful items. It's too bad there's not a lot of commanders interested in playing this game. And there's the neutral bomb. It's just spawned in. And so that means our team and their team are fighting towards it. This is kind of where the game got intense for me. This is like, when you're trying to fight street to street and all this other stuff in some of these games, that's the feeling you get in Obliteration when you're trying to like fight over a bomb that's on the ground. Absolutely a lot of fun stuff. And of course, it's right between both of our paradrop areas. So there's going to be a lot of people down here fighting for this thing. Right here, I'm trying to help out this tank, and that was misguided. I should have gone for the bomb. You can see, look at all their paradrop guys. That's intimidating when you see that coming down. Now you can shoot people who are paradropping, so don't feel bad if you try to do that. You can totally kill them. and it might be a worthwhile endeavor for some people. I do take a few shots at those guys when I get close enough. I also make sure I spot all the tanks and everything else I see, because otherwise your team kind of gets blindsided pretty easily in this game mode especially. No, don't know what I was thinking there. That was a weird shot to have taken. Here's a dumb move. Try pushing up towards a tank without your tank. Yep. This is not good. That was like a lot of dumb decisions that just happened right there. So what happened was I ran towards that tank with my repair tool out thinking I was going to repair torch it, not so much, didn't hit any rockets. I wasted all my rockets except for one. It's kind of important. I say, God damn. Oh man. You should have heard what my voice as soon as I hit that shot. That is an impressive shot for me, at the very least. And you'll see in the chat I had to stop in the middle of a field to tell people, hey, I got that amazing kill on my own. There was no lock-on involved. That, oh man, that's a great kill. Anyways, now that we've taken out their bomb carrier in the most dramatic way possible, we can kind of push up here, but my bomb carrier is gone off down there towards the C objective. So that means I have a little bit of time, because I can't catch up to him, to clear out some of this stuff. To get these guys kind of divested from this area, it will mean a lot better situation if he plants that bomb, that we can come in here a little easier and grab it next time around. Unfortunately, it looks like someone else grabbed the bomb, so I'm going to scramble over there. Oh good, they have a vehicle and active protection going. So even if I had rockets, this would be a bad time to fire on them. You can tell if they have the active protection going by the green light there. If it's recharging, it goes red, and if it's not active, it's going to stay green, I believe. Not a great moment for us there. But you can see we have a tank looking right at it. Shouldn't be a problem. I switch over to support with the hopes that I'll be able to get a quick jihad in before the end of the round. But I've done my part to keep everything going, so I'm not feeling bad about this game at all. I actually did a lot better than I expected. I go 17 and 10, which indicates I got a few kills I don't remember, because I don't think I even got that many. Ooh, hey, there's a fun bug that I haven't mentioned. If you hit anything that's even a slight bump, sometimes you will take damage to your vehicles. I have actually lost vehicles in that. That was my one good jihad target right there. But it's pretty much the end of the game. Obliteration is a fun game mode. Unfortunately, right now, there are not a lot of servers that run it full-time, or if there are, they're not very well populated. This was one of 3 I found with enough people to start a game. That's not a good sign. When they change the 20-minute time limit, if they do, I think that'll kind of fix a lot of the issues people have with it. But until then, I feel like it's always going to be a tertiary game mode behind Conquest and Rush, even with Rush's problems in Battlefield 4. But it's fun. I might do more of it. But yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.